Alright everybody, what's up? I'm going to do a review on my Badlander Topo Topper that I've had for a couple months already. I love this thing. I've gone camping a handful of times already. I'm gonna go over just gonna review it, go over some measurements, questions I had that, weren't on the website. And I'm actually gonna do measurements as far as how tall it is. I'm 5'9", show you how I fit in here when I'm sitting inside, standing, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna go over it. I have a 2023 Toyota Tacoma, and yeah, let's do it. All right, so first things first, I got the Badlander. I have a 5-foot bed Tacoma. I picked a access door option. I got the slider door option. I got the solar panel connection. I did not have them put the solar panels. I'm going to do that myself, but I had them run the wiring. So I'm going to go over height as far as how much height, because that was a question that I did have, is how much height was from the floor to the top here. And then when it's fully open, what's the height from the ground to the top? And you can kind of get a reference of how big this thing is. So, this is the Badlander. So this one actually goes flush with the side of the vehicle. Their Rincon model sticks out about another 5 inches. That one's a little more expensive, but you do get some more room. However, this thing for me is plenty big. And I love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop it open, show you how easy it is to set up, and let's check it out. All right, I'm gonna open this bad boy up. My truck has a 2-inch lift on it, so it's not that high, but all right. And there it is, that easy. All right, there it is, fully opened. This thing measures 107 inches from the front to the back. The sleeping area is supposed to be 50 inches by 80 inches. And it's 107 length total. So you do have this opening right here. All right, because it's 107 inches, which is just about 9 feet. For you short bed Tacoma guys, this is gonna go right about 6 inches from your front door. So that's where you gotta basically, that's where it's gonna land, right here. Like I said, I have the access door, which did cost $470 extra. I did get the slider, which cost an extra $300, but I wanted both options. Let's see what else. I did get the awning brackets. This was $170. I could have done this myself, but I wasn't 100% sure what I was working with. But I did go to Topo Toppers and I did look at them, talk to Thomas. He went over like the whole building process, and I wanted to see what I could do and what I couldn't do. And that's what I did. So let me go ahead and give you some measurements on the inside. So It's the good stuff. This is the questions that I had because I wanted to know how much room exactly do I have. So here, check this out. All right, so one of the first measurements I'm gonna give you is from the floor to the top right here. So that's what I needed to know, how high it was. I used to have a soft topper, and the soft topper was at least 4 inches lower than this. Here we are at 40 inches. 40 inches. And on this part, that's to here. So when this is closed, you have a little extra, like 3 inches right here, because this panel here sits a little bit higher in this opening. So right here, you're gonna have 40, and then here you're gonna have, in this little pocket, 43. So like I said, you really can't sit down here. If I sit here on the what do you ever call this thing? This thing, my head hits. Right, so if I had something a little bit shorter, obviously I'd be a little more comfortable. But if you wanted to sit down, and you can obviously do it, just get something a little bit lower. But yeah, let me show you the height of this bad boy. All right, here we go. Now we're inside, have the windows open, and from the floor to the very top, this was another big question I had. This is not, they don't have this in the website. It is, I have 80.5 inches. I'm 5'9", and I still have about 10 inches above me. Plenty of room. And as far as sitting up here, next measurement is gonna be from the mattress to the top. I do not touch. I still have probably like 3-4 inches, and it is at 35.5. 35.5 inches from the mattress floor to the ceiling. That's another measurement that, you know, I was wondering exactly what it was, because they don't have that on the website. They just have the sleeping area, 50 by 80. That's the only measurement you're gonna see. So the rest of them that's what it is. It's the height from the bottom of the floor to the top, from here to the top, and this thing is legit solid. So yeah, the next thing is, this thing is 80 inches long. I'm 5'9", so that's 69 inches. So I still have just about a foot of extra room, and that's more than enough. I like this better than the wedge because you definitely have way more room. They look the same when they're closed, but you just get way more room. I know the wedge is a little bit cheaper, but if you have a couple more bucks, maybe another 1,500, you have way more room. It's way more comfortable. So, all right, so one of my main selling points for this thing, the thing that I bragged about, the thing that I told everybody about why I'm getting it, why it's so much better than, you know, a regular rooftop and a camper and everything else, is because this thing, you have, obviously, you know, it's integrated with the camper, so you can remove the panels and then you have access to your whole bed. So the first time I took this out, I went to Anza Borrego. It happened to be raining pretty hard, and it was winds to about 35 to 40 miles per hour. And I was kind of skeptical because I was kind of, you know, I knew that this held up to wind, but it was windy. You know, in the desert, it gets windy as hell. So it was windy, and this thing held up like a champ. So the struts here, these things, you know, they do their job. This thing is pretty tight. This thing, you would think with the wind would be flapping around like a loose rain fly. It was not. This thing was it was solid. I felt comfortable. You know, you feel the truck move, you know, sway a little bit with the wind, but it wasn't where you felt that this thing was gonna freaking just fly off. I didn't feel that one time. So the So the durability of this thing, I'm gonna say, is just, it's legit. It's well built and it's designed for those elements. So it's windy, it's raining, and I'm like, shit, I can't hang out outside. So that's where this came in. So as easy as moving a panel, sliding it over, and moving these guys, putting these guys out of the way, one-handing it. Hold on, let's see. Can't do it like that, I gotta do it the right way. Okay, boom. All right. Out of the way, I have this entire truck bed to kick it. I was cooking here, I was hanging out here, and I was comfortable. I didn't have to worry about being under in a tent, just stuck in a small little thing. I actually had a little bit more room to do, you know what I mean, just hang out, and it was perfect. So there's plenty of room in here. As you can see, if you have a full-size truck, you definitely have way more room, because obviously those trucks are bigger. But this thing's solid. You can even bang out some dips in here. See, it can work out. So this thing is the business. It was worth every penny. I would buy it again. I don't need anything crazy big. This is perfect, suits all my needs. I've done all the camping. I've done regular campground camping on regular campsites at all the major, you know, the big national parks. I've done dispersed camping. So this is nice to get in there and do what I need to do, because sometimes you can't stake a tent into the ground because it's too soft or it's too hard and you can't stake it down, and you know, the desert gets windy, and you know, I mean, there's all the different scenarios. But this thing pops up, got plenty of room. This is my selling point right here. This little chill area here. You're just in here hanging out. Perfect. I love it. I love it. And I'm still gonna do a bunch of stuff in here. So that is my review. If you have any questions, let me know and I will try to answer them. What else did I miss? Mainly it was just like how big this bad boy is. But this thing is solid. But there, you know, you get what you pay for. So if you like the video, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me how cool it is, tell me how, I don't know, ask me something that I missed, and I would like to address it. Because if you're into camping like me, then this is the video for you, because this is stuff I watch, and I like to get ideas from people, and yeah, so have a nice day.